Good evening, John Berman here in for Anderson on the first night of what could be a very long, tense week for people in this country and around the world. That's because the market suffered an unprecedented point drop today. In Italy, a country of 60 million people effectively closed all its borders to the world. Now, all of that happening as passengers are finally disembarking from a cruise ship now at port in Oakland. At a news conference just a short time ago, Vice President Pence said 21 were infected on the ship. However, none of them children. President Trump was also there, or should we say he was there briefly. He used his time to explain that the outbreak is, quote, not our country's fault and was, quote, something we were thrown. Also to talk about a stimulus package he hopes Congress will pass. But then the president left the room before taking any questions. And we want to play you that moment because tonight the health of the president is now a concern after several Republican allies in Congress, some who have had recent contact with the president, announced they have self-quarantined after coming in contact with someone who was infected. Here is that moment after reporters tried to ask whether the leader of the free world has been tested.
Has he been tested? Have you been tested?
I have not been tested for the coronavirus.
Has the president? Has the president been tested?
He's been in contact with people who were in proximity to somebody who had the virus.
Let me be sure and get you an answer to that. I honestly don't know the answer to the question, but we'll refer that question and we will get you an answer from the White House physician very quickly.
The vice president doesn't know if the president has been tested, and we still haven't received an answer from the White House. Now, here is what we do know at this time about the president's health. 4 Republican members of Congress have self-quarantined themselves after saying they came in contact with an individual at a recent conservative political action forum who has tested positive for the virus. Ted Cruz, Dr. Paul Gosar, Matt Gaetz, and Doug Collins. Congressman Collins of Georgia shook the president's hand after exiting Air Force One in Atlanta on Friday after Congressman Collins came in contact with the infected individual. And then there's Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida. Today, he rode with the president aboard the presidential limo as well as Air Force One. Gaetz was also a dinner guest of the president Saturday evening, spending the weekend with President Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Now, Gaetz had previously appeared to mock coronavirus prevention. He appeared on the House floor last week in a gas mask during a vote on funding for coronavirus prevention, and he tweeted out a photo of himself in that same gas mask while in his office. By the way, all of that happened before this weekend when a constituent of his died from the coronavirus. Today, his office responded to the gas mask controversy. Quote, Congressman Gaetz had expected COVID-19 to impact Congress given the elevated frequency of travel and human contact, and demonstrated his concern last week on the House floor. Interestingly, President Trump attended the same CPAC conference as the 4 congressmen who have self-quarantined. That was on February 29th, 9 days ago. President Trump said of the coronavirus, quote, everything is under control, unquote.